So first of all, in the human world, so let me start in the human world. We have lovely, kind, compassionate, joy-filled people. We also, in the human world, have very vicious, malicious, hateful, vindictive, destructive people. It's the same in the spirit world. We have angelic beings that are quite bright and really helpful and want to uplift humanity. And then we have other angelic beings that are of the lower world that keep things kind of stirred up, or other beings that are more negative and can be malicious and tricksters and things like that. So it can be the same in the fairy world, in the little people world. You're just going to have the balance of both. But I want to talk about, I'll just talk about good and bad, or good and evil. It's a chess game. White pieces and black pieces, that's it. White moves, black, that's the next move. Black moves. White moves, black moves. White moves, black moves. And so that's just the normal, world that we live in. I went to Ireland and I experienced the same thing. They were like, don't mess with the fairy forts, or don't go to where the fairies are, or don't go because you'll have negative things happen to you, or you'll have bad luck. They've actually redirected roads where they know that there's a community of fairies and little people that live, and you can actually Google this, that they actually will completely detour a road that they're building to not go through there because they know that the area will be impacted for years to come in a negative way. And so so there's a certain sense of honor and respect. And so I asked the Irish people a lot about that. They're like, why do you want to come here and talk to the fairies? Why are you meddling where you don't have business meddling? Why are you stirring things up that you're going to get back on a plane and leave, and they're going to all be stirred up? But it's basically, they said they just respect their area, they respect their lives, and so they will actually have areas of land where the little people get to live without disruption. We just did a land healing last weekend with a man who's got 3 acres, and it came through very strongly that he needed to create a place where the nature spirits on the property that help him with his land, they need to have a place to go that's protected that no human will ever step near. So like a cluster of cedar trees, and you can actually put a fence around the outside, and no, I promise that I won't allow humans to go there. This is going to be your safe place. But they do interact quite well with humans, and my experience has been very positive. And even when I went to Ireland, the experience was very positive, and they were very excited that they were helping to, that we were there helping to reawaken the stories. But yes, just like anybody else, if you came into my house and hurt my family, I would probably rise up and get mad about it. So I don't know a lot more than that. I definitely work with the land spirits a lot, but they do want to work and they want to help. When I was in South Africa, I was taking a walk and I saw 3 little people about this tall. They look like whatever that travel commercial, the little gnome thing. But they're sitting there, and they're just sitting there like this. And I walked by and I said, hello, what are you doing? Nothing. Why are you sitting like that? We're bored. Why are you bored? Because we don't have a job to do. And I was just like, it was wild to think that they're bored and they don't have a job to do. So I went and talked to the landowner and I expressed what I had just seen. It was about a week later. I was taking my walk down by the lake, coming back, had kind of forgotten about this, cutting back through, and I saw these streaks of light going across the gardens, and I thought, wow, what is happening here? Lots of streaks going back and forth. So I backed up a bit, and I stood there, and then I said, hello, hello, what's happening? And one of them stopped, and then I could see the little gnome. He was out of breath. What? I don't have time to talk. I'm really busy. Like, really? And he said, yes, we have a lot of work to do, and I must get on with it. And then, pew, like a light. It just looked like lights going everywhere, like fireflies. So I went back to the landowner and said, okay, I just had another wild experience in your gardens. And he got this little crooked smile, and he said, that's good. I said, what's good? He said, well, after you talked to me last week, I went down to the gardens with a list. These plants over here need more nitrogen. I need your help keeping the beetles off the cabbages. You know, I mean, he just gave this list. The birds were eating all the peaches. So can you keep, the birds can have this branch of peaches, but can you keep them from touching the other branches? So he gave them this list, and they busily worked away. And literally, I could see the whole cabbage row was clear of beetles except for the 5 cabbages at the end that he allowed the beetles to have. And so I could literally see what jobs he had given him. So, I mean, I have a million stories like this that from a practical minded woman made no sense, but I couldn't deny what I was experiencing. So great question. There are those of you who need to bring the consciousness of the little people back to the surface and stand proud and say, yes, I love little people.
Thank you.